solving problems.
Hello dear friends, and welcome to this new episode in which we are going to learn new vocabulary as well as some useful grammatical sentences. Stay tuned.
In this episode, we are going to talk about the following ideas. 1. Questions about the buried city. 2. Grammar in context. Exercises.
Dear friends, let us remember what happened in the previous episode of our story, The Buried City, by answering the following questions. 1. How did Tariq and Hussein get into the underground room?
1. They fell through a hole in an alley.
2. What did Tariq see on the wall?
2. He saw a beautiful painting.
3. What did Hussein see on the ground?
3. He saw a snake.
4. How did Hussein make a fire?
4. He rubbed some dry pieces of wood together.
That was good. So, we have seen how they had fell in a hole and how Hussein rubbed some dry pieces of wood in order to make a fire. Now, let's do the following exercise and see whether the coming statements are true or false.
True or false?
1. Nadia and her parents went back home. False. 2. Nadia couldn't sleep, so she looked out of the window and thought. True. 3. Nadia thinks the boys have walked into the desert. False. 4. Nadia thinks the boys are in the buried city. True.
Grammar in context. The if clause, third type.
We use the third type of the if clause when it is impossible to fulfill a condition which is given in the if clause.
Form.
The form of the third type of the if clause is as follows. So, the if clause is in the past perfect tense, and the main clause has the form of a modal, have, and a past participle. Examples: if I had studied, I would have passed the exam. If I had studied, I could have passed the exam. If I had studied, I might have passed the exam. As you can see from the examples above, we can use many modals instead of would. And as we have seen in the first two types of the conditional sentences, we can have the places of the if clause and the main clause replaced. The sentences can be said in another way, and we drop the comma. This happens when we start with the second clause before the first one. I would have passed the exams if I had studied. I could have passed the exams if I had studied. I might have passed the exams if I had studied.
Exercises about the if clauses.
Now, we are going to show you many sentences, and then you are going to say whether the sentences are from type 1, 2, or 3. Let's start.
If it rains, I won't go to the park. Type 1. If I study today, I'll go to the party tonight. Type 1. If she were happy in her job, she wouldn't be looking for another one. Type 2. If I lived in Japan, I'd have sushi every day. Type 2. If it had rained, you would have gone wet. Type 3. You would have gone wet if it had rained. Type 3.
Were instead of was.
Were instead of was. In if clauses type 2, we usually use were even if the pronoun is I, he, she, or it. Example, if I were you, I would not do this. However, both are correct now. If I were you, I would phone him. Subjunctive mood. If I was you, I would phone him. Simple past. By this, dear friends, we come to the end of the second part of Unit 8. I hope that everything was clear. See you next time. Take care.